They're in their comfort zone. I think FN Kunkka is one of the best player-hero combinations we've seen so far at this event. But I'm a huge believer in Enigma and Weaver and Quap right now. They also have the Earthshaker. Think about VP Prodigy trying to take an engagement. If you don't burst that initial target down, it's just not going to die. There's so much counterplay. And late game, Weaver Ags is just a straight up I win.
You don't even have to go for that Enigma with the BKB blink. You can just go full utility. Helm of Dominator, Greaves, right? And the Axe from the Weaver.
Some things were just
So the game has started. We are going to go get into it, but give me your thoughts. Just give me a name, guys. Kyle, starting with you.
Secret's playing too well to ever not choose, no matter the draft.
Secret's playing too well, I completely agree. But if there is a game for VP Prodigy to take, I think it should be this one. They're in their comfort zone. The heroes are strong. I'll go with them.
Okay, so you're doing exactly the same split again. Let's see if VPP can make the magic happen as we go back to OD Pixel and Fogged. And guys, for you, I guess, do you see a way where VPP can take the edge in this? And can you even make any sense of Secret's lanes here?
I mean, that really is the thing. Again, it's another crazy draw from Secret. I mean, Fogged, you know, you sort of take the lead here. What do you see coming out this one? I feel there's just so much to talk about from these two lineups already.
Yeah, I feel like this is just like that last pick is just a puppy adaptation. You see the Void and immediately you're like, I don't want to play Weaver Core. I'm sure nobody wants to play Weaver Core when you see that versus all this stun and lockdown and just ways to control the Weaver. So they just swap it, right? They're going to end up making it a 4 or 5 Weaver, and it's going to be a 5 this time. YapzOr's playing this Earthshaker, and then the lanes don't, I mean, then it looks a little bit more normal. Sure, Weaver as a 5 is definitely a little weird, but doesn't look that outside of the box when you know, when you understand why they did it because of that Void pick and that Kunkka and all that disable. But VP Prodigy, they've got a strong draft. I definitely like what they've got going here. Only thing I'm seeing is a little bit lack of damage in the chrono, like the panel was mentioning, but I haven't seen Void Grimstroke together. I'm kind of curious to see like how much they can set up their Ink Swallows with that little time walk cheekiness.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is going to be a lane where I feel like Zai's got to be a little careful. You know, once there's a level 2 in the Stroke of Fate and the Ink Swell, these two heroes can play very aggressive into the Enigma. But of course, if this lane gets hard, you know, Zai can always step back with the Eidolons, move through the jungle, give YapzOr a bit of the lane to get some levels. So we'll see how Secret do play this bottom lane. But obviously, as I said at the start, Zai taking the offlane Enigma down here, backed up by YapzOr's Shaker. The other lane setups, top lane, you're going to have Matu on the CK, supported by Puppy's Weaver against DM, Centaur, and Save on his Shadow Demon. And
Courier.
Matchup. Oh, he's got it.
Puppy, he's almost able to get it. YapzOr gets the bottom one.
They do. They take down Ines, and that did have the backup mana for him. So he's going to be out without a Clarity or a Mango, just relying on that Sage's Mask mana regen for any early plays that he wants to go for in this first minute.
So bottom lane, like you're mentioning, I feel like this is just Zai's going to just be able to farm and just make epileptic kids a little life sad, pretty much. Just denying all those creeps, while YapzOr, I feel like his job is just don't let them pull. Do not ever let them pull the lane back. Follow this Grimstroke around. Probably get like no experience pretty much on this Earthshaker, but if you don't allow him to pull, you're going to win this bottom lane pretty hard just from the denies.
And looking at the mid lane matchup, is this a lane like as a Kunkka, would you sort of consider yourself tanky enough to not care too much about the harass from the Queen of Pain, or because you are a melee hero, you still do get beaten out by the Quap? Would you think in this one?
You still get beaten out pretty hard. You're gonna have to spend a lot of money on regen as the Kunkka, or you're gonna have to do like a cheeky X back for yourself to reset your HP. But I don't know, he's doing pretty well. All depends too if the Queen of Pain has a lane ward, which he does, so he's able to get those like high ground hits. Same thing for FN. He's able to see for the positioning for those. And yeah, he's doing really well right now.
He's even trying to see if he can catch Nisha there with this Torrent. He is going to be able to get him, so some good damage onto Nisha. Nisha, of course, he doesn't have the blink skill. He went for the 2 points as you would want to on the Shadow Strike, and it will actually pay off as Nisha falls incredibly low, but he's able to keep his distance, get the salve off, and again have a favorable trade back towards FN there with the burst.
Might be able to kill him.
Getting very low, able to juke out the Torrent. This is going to be first blood for Nisha. Straight outplay there in the mid lane, as I say, he must have got down to like 10-20 HP with that turnaround, with the salve, being able to keep the distance and take down FN in response.
Yeah, 10 HP on the dot, right with that Tidebringer just about played his hand, and now he's actually, is he suiciding to the tower? He's trying to suicide.
He's trying to.
Oh, but he gets XP.
He did. I mean, maybe Niche is just that good that even when he tries to die, he can't die that quick. But I don't know, that was obviously not the ideal play there.
So tower switched to him, hit him once, and then he looked like he wanted to keep it on it, and it just switched off of him.
I mean,
he de-aggroed off of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very weird.
Bottom. He's able to snipe the Kerr. He's a bit low now. But he's able to walk away. They actually were able to set up on Zai as well with that Ink Swell plus Time Walk aggression. And at the meantime, also top.
Yeah, may have the setup there. Well, Puppy's got to be very careful with his positioning. These two heroes, they've got a heavy amount of magical burst to play with in the laning stage. So 3 for 1 for Virtus Pro Prodigy after these first few minutes of play.
I don't think I've ever seen a player try to kill himself to a tower and it just like, nope.
Struggle to kill himself on mid. That is one of those situations where you get any sort of, 3K, 2K player, they'll be able to dodge the tower, but Nisha, he struggles.
That was really interesting to see. 4 minutes, we have a bottle finished up on Nisha. FN is going to pre-check that top rune to ensure that he doesn't give it up, but I spawns bottom, unfortunate for him. Nisha will be very happy about that, as he should be able to pull pretty far ahead, well, not very far ahead in the lane, but ahead in the lane by a decent amount versus Kanka now because of this. Matu is still farming just fine. I think pressuring CK is actually a really difficult task ever in most lanes because this, Chaos Strike is just an insane mechanic that you can just, hit people and you heal so much off of it. So sure, Puppy gets negated a little bit, but Matu's still able to farm just fine up there. As he doesn't go for Quelling Blade either. He just goes for 2 straight bracers for that raw HP and some extra magic resist.
See mid lane. Yapso's come in. He's been able to block FN off with the Fisher, but it is behind the tower. Nisha tries to step forward, takes a tower hit and a Tidebringer, so some big damage traded back. And now with the TP in from Ina, maybe they can keep FN safe. They'll be able to. His Tan going up is out of regen though, so we'll have to get something else sent out for him. Or, of course, as you say, can use the X mark to go for a quick refuel back to base.
Pretty ideal though, for that pressure play that Secret does. They know that the regen rune, they know that the rune is bottom, and is a regen, so they just play super aggressive. Nisha's able to use that regen now at maximum efficiency and send the Kunkka back to base as now bounty runes.
Looks like Secret will be able to get the majority of them there. Puppy able to get in and pick up Virtus Pro Prodigy's Radiant top room as he's able to keep himself ahead of save. And yeah, this top lane, let's talk about the CK a bit more because it is a hero that I think even Kyle said the other day he wasn't a fan of, but watching this analysis during this panel, he did like it here in this situation. Do you sort of like the CK here, but again, you wouldn't really rate it as a very strong carry in a lot of other drafts?
So versus the Void, he always provides you like extra control. That's really nice. He also I feel like he just shreds these 2 supports. That's the one nice thing. There is some control for his illusions, which are a little annoying. That's probably one of the things that I feel like CKs don't like to play against, is like AoE stuns, Centaur, Kunkka, and stuff like that. But it doesn't look, it looks like it could have some success for sure versus Void. FN?
Yeah, there was an attempt on him, but he was able to play defensively with the Kunkka's rum, so he's got that extra protection. He's going to actually sort of make sure he's kept back, but it's not going to matter. Sonic Wave from Nisha comes into play. He's hit the 6, and the ult will take FN down.
That was a godly Fissure block, really. Kept him there the entire time. He looks pretty healthy, but gets brought down anyway. Bottom now. Wait, is that a Xayah solo kill?
Yeah, he was able to take down Ina. Yeah, he's got the Maleficent too and just runs him down with the Eidolons, and Ina can get out already.
He's at a book, and he's almost level 7, and now Epic Kid is probably feeling really awkward down bottom because he actually can't stay laning versus an Enigma, and there's a rotation already coming from Nisha to try to even put more pressure onto him. Void is going to have a pretty tough place to recover now. Don't really know where he's going to want to go.
No, for sure, blending into the Eidolons and the Necro book. Is this just sort of becoming the off-lane way to play then? Sort of pick a hero that you know you're going to be able to farm in the matchup, get Necro book as soon as you can, and then sort of, stonks. You're going to be able to farm, you're going to be able to push towers, everything comes online very quickly for you.
It is starting to seem like it. Like, Sage's Mask is just such a good item. Same thing with that book rush if you're able to get it. Meanwhile, top.
They're able to block the air off, and there's very little hope of him getting out of here as the 3 heroes will take him down. This game 2, Secret starting to get the lead a little quicker than they did in game 1 even. As just 7.5 minutes in, we're at a 3K advantage. All the Secret's cores having some incredible free farm, and For as early as the game is, at 7 minutes in, it's already a decent amount more than the cores of Virtus Pro Prodigy are having across the board here, off the back of these lanes. So
Yeah,
Virtus Pro Prodigy, they've got to make something happen.
I'm really concerned for EpiKid. I don't know what he's going to do for the next few moments of the game. I feel like he doesn't have a home. Because he doesn't have a lane he can go to. He kind of just has to try to find his level 6 somewhere. Because bottom's going to get pressured super hard now by this Enigma and a rotation from Puppey. While Matu is now at Freedom. The top lane, I feel like, was the most successful one that VPP had set up. And he's free farmed through it entirely anyway.
Yeah, and we've seen what happens when Matu gets space. You know, he's going to be able to start shooting ahead at the top of that net worth. So
Bottom.
Virtus Pro Prodigy, they've really got their hands full. They've got to find somewhere to make something happen. Bottom lane, DM's going to get gone, and he pops the Stampede, but the control, it's there from Secret. With a Malefice, the Rift and Bolt from Matu. There's no amount of running the DM can do to save himself over towards mid. Nisha drops the Sonic Wave onto Aina. It's starting to get a little bloody.
And it was another regen rune. So Nisha's full mana again. He can continue looking around the map to pressure or look to steal some farm, whichever the choice is. Looks like, okay, they're going to send the Void up top. Probably the only place that he had left to actually go for. Still not the safest place, of course. And in the meanwhile, we see Secret, they're starting to collapse and take over the opposing jungle here. 4k gold advantage already.
Zai is this Enigma with his Necro Book. What do? You know, you got to put a lot of attention onto him if you want to slow him down. And if you don't have anything being focused on Zai, he's just going to be farming as quick as both Nisha and Matuma Man. If anything, he's probably going to be farming faster with his Necro Book. You know, this Enigma's going to get out of control. And
he's going to do the same. I think Kyle was the one who mentioned he could just do the same exact build as he did in the last game. He could just go for this Greaves build. He could go for this tanky build, and they can just run up and look to team fight around him rather than looking to rely off of a black hole, which can get countered for the majority of the early game. You can just play that tanky just walk up and act as that type of initiator, which gives YapzOr a bit more freedom to go for his Blink Dagger.
Top there will manage to make sure they have one of the outposts coming into the 10th minute. EpiKid, he's hit the 6, but definitely still that issue does lie, as you in the panel have mentioned upon. Sure, you've got the Chronosphere, but it's not like he could just go Chronos someone and the rest of his team can guarantee a kill. They don't have that insane instant burst follow-up.
EpiKid top. Matu is here. He almost gets the stun on him, actually. He's able to jump away. He's actually got a Midas queued up on an EpiKid.
That's an expensive item. I don't know about that, Fogged. I mean, you're the expert here. What do you reckon?
See that item ever. I just don't see that item ever anymore.
I'd rather see him buy a Necro Book, dude. You know, if you want to go for farming and some extra, the Midas Void, I don't know. We'll see what he does with it. But I'm not a believer.
Honestly, he might be feeling a little bit pressured already, because he's like, I'm not getting farm. I'm kind of like solo carry. I'm not sure. He's probably just a little scared as bottom. DM. We'll have to stampede away.
Yeah, Zai even holding back there. Didn't want to pop the black hole. He doesn't care for DM's life. He's like, you can walk away. I just continue to farm, you know, on top of this Arcane's Necro Book, 800 gold. All the Secrets cores still staying ahead. And yeah, we'll see. I'm always excited when we do see Voids do these sort of builds, but definitely more often than not, they have ended in tears.
Is that why you're excited to watch him end in tears?
To watch end in tears. No, I'm excited to see for the potential that it does work out. The potential that the Midas pays off. And nowadays, with how much a Midas costs and everything, the game's got to go pretty long for it to be a good investment. I mean, you can argue as much about, it gives you the attack speed, but it's, yeah, sure, buddy. We'll see. We'll see.
Radiant's middle tower.
We will see indeed. Fight. They've got FN kind of locked in a weird spot here.
Gonna get the bow out. And he managed to stun him. Zai's gonna step forward. And you drop him, but he's straight into a back goes. Oh no! Oh, and a black hole follow-up too. Oh dear.
Oh no, and they TM. Yaps are actually off the mark with a little bit with that enchant totem, but
Oh, don't time walk into that, Mr. Epileptic Kid.
he almost had a godly chrono though. It was almost like a 3 or 4 man chrono.
Yeah,
trying to
but
protect his Kunkka, but still.
You know, I could have almost won a TI, you know, if we could sort of stretch some boundaries there. Yeah. Oh no.
Secret just starting to really run away with things.
It's a 5-game series. We can't have a 2-0. We can't have a 2-0 here. It's not possible. It's not actually possible, so don't worry. Do not worry.
I mean, yeah, that's very true.
But this
It's
one's going to be
painful
rough.
so far, though.
Yeah.
Matuna, I look at this like that. That was their time to get something in, and they literally just find the perfect target. They find FN in the river, and he gets fissure trapped, and they can't actually like do anything to protect him. Oof. Now Secret's gonna back up, and they're just gonna farm, right? They're just like, okay, we spent our cooldowns. The onus is on VPP to try to do something while these cooldowns are not at the ready, and I don't think VPP can really force any type of issue here. They're just gonna Secret can just continue to force the bottom lane in and give so much information of that from Zai.
I mean, we did see last game, you know, VPP, whilst being behind, they were good at that, right? They did identify these timings where they could actually find kills on Secret's heroes. But yeah, this game, it just feels a whole lot harder with the heroes that they're playing with. As Epikid's nearly got the Midas, so we're nearly seeing the Midas online. Oh. He's going to be able to step away. The Fisher does grab him. Not really going to be something that they can chase on for. They'll turn over towards Zion in the mid lane. Did get the Inkswell stun off onto Matumba Man. FN looking for the tie, bringing a hit back onto Nisha, but Nisha still got a lot of HP to play with. They'll go with the Demonic Purge onto Matumba Man, but there's very little ways that they can follow that up. Matu's going to be able to walk away. He does not care at all about being Demonic Purge. Epikid stepping in to the rift, the stun. Oh no, oh no. Oh, and he was so close to his Midas. He was so close. He's sitting on 16-6. He must have nearly had the goal for the recipe before that. Well,
it's falling apart.
I'll be honest. It was probably GG when he queued up the Midas on Void. I think that's become sort of a pseudo way to say this game's over. I don't think you queue that item up if you think you've got a chance. As this one's getting bloody. It's 14-3, 15 minutes in, 9k lead for Secret.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And
they're tipping Zai, because Zai's just, they're all killing people mid, and Zai's like, guys, I'm pushing bottom. Pushing some waves, getting my farm, got my blink dagger at the ready. They're just, this is just them coasting now. They just snowballing out of control. VPP, they don't know how to recover at all. Like I'm seeing them, like everyone's just trying to farm desperately. I saw like Grimstroke hitting mud golems and stuff for the last few moments.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, they're feeling the pressure.
No, that's not. I mean, well,
Your admiral is on board.
things can happen. So if Epikid gets the Midas and they hold on for about another 60 minutes, we could. You never know. Late game faces forward. If you can get there. Chronosphere, where's the counter? As they talked about before, there is actually a counter. They do have Aghanims on the Weaver potentially down the line. So,
and it's also a CK with they have some limited damage inside that Chronosphere. This is a 2,440 HP CK already at the moment.
That's quite a tanky core at 20 minutes. Well, it's actually not even 20, 16 minutes. 16 minutes. But you know what? You never know. Last game, that's Prodigy. They were 10k down. They got some good fights going. They were able to push the game onto how long was game on? About 45 minutes. There we go. The Midas is done. He's got his Midas. Okay. He was able to use it without dying. So this is a good start. It's a good start already.
They do have DEM also with like a blink dagger, but when I look at like the way that their damage comes out, like if let's say he blink stuns, and like what's their follow-up gonna be? Their follow-up really has to be the Kunkka and the boat and everything, and they need to have like everybody throw everything, and I don't feel like it's that much versus what Secret's acquired already, right? Like let's say the CK gets caught by it, he's probably just fine if he gets hit by all their spells. If they catch the Quap, a little bit of a different story, but it's just a little bit of limited damage now in comparison, because Secret's just crushed this early game now.
CP's coming on the bottom. They're hunting for DM. He has got the blink done. He'll go a little deeper. The bugs, they are going to find him in the trees. Have they got any TP cancel? They do. Nisha's got his Yules. DM, it's going to be held behind. He has got a Stampede if he wants to try and make a run for it, but he won't even attempt to do so. DM will fall. Back over
Mid.
towards the mid. Matthew
Oh,
is going to have a bit of a fight against FN, but FN has got the bow and Torrent. That'll put a stop to Matthew's attempts, but no, well, maybe it won't. Matthew tries to put him back in. Epic in. He comes in with the chrono, though. Have they got the damage?
Side there.
That's low, but then the
Oh,
block.
God.
He's in. He's got the three of them. The setup there for the Fisher. Matthew with the arm that's going to be able to keep himself alive. Furnace Pro Prodigy get team wiped. And I mean, as I say,
think they might be ready. I think they're pretty ready to call it. Yeah, they called it.
yeah, it's
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
yeah. I mean, I think he only uses minus once this game as well. I mean, but it's in a 5-game series. Sometimes games like this happen against Secret. It's against